creativity, that knowledge creation. We think knowledge is created outside of the classroom, but more and more I realize that knowledge is creating in the process of teaching. So congratulations again, everyone. Congratulations on Edora. This is pretty exciting, and I'm happy to be a part of this launch today as well.
Thank you so much, Dan, for all the efforts and the collaboration that we have been doing on WAC's Digital Innovation Lab and Edora. Thank you so much for your support. Next, we'll move to Professor Dr. Prabhat Ranjan from D.Y. Patil International University. So the questions remain the same. Where do you see there is a benefit for online versus offline? Where do you think that even when offline begins, and which has already begun, we are still going to retain the best parts of it? And what is the digital strategy ahead?
Right. Thank you so much, and greetings to all of you. I'm a nuclear fusion scientist, but I've been with computers for more than 40 years. I've grown with computers. And I was heading India's technology think tank, TIFAC, in Delhi from 2013 to 18. And we prepared this document, Technology Vision 2035 for the country. And to see this document, actually, we had talked about many of the things that we are discussing today. And even 20 years ago, when I moved from national labs to university, we were discussing about to scale up the teaching system, we had to use online system. So I've been working on this for a long time. And even in Delhi, I was running a program on behalf of Government of India to help women who had mid-career break. And they were spread all across the country. So we're using the same facility that we're trying to use today. So when I started this university, I'm the founder and vice chancellor of D.Y. Patil International University in Pune, which is in Akurdi campus, where there are multiple campuses of D.Y. Patil. In 2018, we started. I'm the founder and vice chancellor. We created digital infrastructure from day one. And so we saw that digital is the future. In fact, yesterday we had our induction day for the new batch of our students. I showed them the same slides that I showed in 2018, where we said that digital is the future. So from day one, we have been talking about creating digital infrastructure, creating digital resources. So we've been very focused on this. We knew this is the way forward. But there are many other things that are happening that speakers have not spoken about. I'm also involved with the brain-computer interface. And what we are seeing is that maybe in next coming years, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, it may be completely possible to bypass all of this and directly put the knowledge in the brain. So that process also started. We have seen some results in 2018 where you could transfer knowledge from brain to brain. And so that bypasses any of the things that we're talking about. And as it happens, I'm representing India in brain-computer interface standardization in International Standards Organization on behalf of Bureau of Indian Standards. So that another angle is coming up, which is not in our horizon, but I wanted to warn people that I'm a futurist. So we are looking at that. But in addition to what we have been talking about, actually, I'm seeing the role of holography, role of augmented reality, virtual reality coming in. And I had visualized as part of Government of India one challenge called multilingual holographic guru. That means it's a guru in your room, backed by AI, which is a customized guru, which is for you in your language, the way you learn it. And that is something that I've been working on also. So there's a lot more happening. The online is the way forward, but offline mode, as we have started calling it now, we never use this term offline actually. Yes.
So true.
It has many other dimensions. We saw that many female students wanted to come back to campus. The pressure on them in home was much more. So they enjoy a freedom that they come. So they wanted to come back, and many of yesterday I saw many of them coming in, and some of them are staying around. I did not know that they were around the campus, also they are from other cities. So there's a lot more than just the teaching learning process, the psychological aspects. Even for faculty members, I've seen that some of them, especially women faculty members, they felt that when they come to campus, they can focus on their work. When they're in home, there are other kind of pressures that they have to deal with in the home. So actually, we cannot avoid offline mode of learning, but at the same time, online has to be going to be there. So we will see a mix of this. And personally, I have made sure that we are ready with the infrastructure. What we faced, problem we faced when the lockdown started last year was the sudden intensity with which it happened when the supply chain and everything got disturbed. If you didn't have internet connection in your home, Even in cities like Pune, there are problem areas where you don't have places, or it may be part of the home, the corner of the home that you are staying in does not have proper link. So that affected where suddenly we didn't have access to things. There are no webcams available. If you wanted to buy, I tried very hard to get these resources. Once people started to come to campus, the faculty members, it became a little easier because to arrange everything in home was very tough when delivery was not there. So today, actually, we are quite comfortable. Now, most of the faculty members are coming on the campus. We had parents and students, a small percentage of them come to the campus yesterday in limited numbers because we have the induction program. They're very happy to join us. And I could see there were students. In fact, I remember a student meeting me day for yesterday. His father told him that he's very depressed. He doesn't know why he's doing what he's doing. We met him and he told me that 50% of the problem disappeared once he came to campus. So beyond learning process, beyond that, there's much more that happens. The peer learning that happens, the psychological things, growing up as an individual, all of this happens when you move out of the home, come to campus. So I believe that we will have online things going on, but offline is going to be equally important. I don't see a cost issue. Costs are very small compared to the overall cost of the system. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before I rope in Professor Raman, this is a very interesting thing. In fact, Professor Ranjan, in fact, I was also having a similar conversation with some of my friends, and this was based on one of the episodes that we saw on the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone is basically a series of things, and it started in 1960s and it still has wonderful episodes. There was an episode where they talked about this, that, okay, hey, why don't we transfer all the information that we have and all the knowledge through a chip or whatever, and it just gets the way we upload, the way we transfer data from one system to the other. Now, my question is, if that happens, it replaces the university ecosystem. So when do we see that happening? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and when that happens, how will universities cope up with that? That's not good news.
So it depends on which way you're looking at it. Okay. So, but 2015, I had organized an event as head of India's technology think tank on our Foundation Day on future of brain, a race between mind and machine. Okay. How brain and machine are racing with each other. And that time I had predicted, if you hear my YouTube video, I said by 2018, we will start to see some of this happening, where transfer of knowledge from one brain to other brain starts to happen. And right on the dot, we saw the news coming in, where actually there were experiments done where from experienced pilots' brain, the knowledge was transferred to new pilots, and the training time could be reduced by 33%. So it is not something that we are talking imaginary, it is already happening, experiments are going on.
No
so the whole process that we are talking of is going to be bypassed in ways that we don't understand today. But absolutely. What is going to be there is that generating that content, that knowledge that you're transferring, that is going to be a big task. Today, just a small thing I'll mention, I'm trying to now reinvent the library system that we have. So I'm trying to bring students back to library. So we are trying to set up an AR/VR corner where I have content, AR/VR content with the systems there that they look in that. Similarly, I'm preparing a makerspace library where people have 3D printed other things that they can borrow or use it there. So I was trying to look for libraries of content with AR/VR systems. I'm not finding that easy to find. But today also just now got a mail, somebody said that, no, I can develop it for you. But there's a lot of content development that needs to be done. So even when we do the knowledge transfer, a lot of that work will be done. So we'll be bypassing one method, but there'll be a lot more other tasks that will come in. So it's just shifting of the way we are doing the education system.
True, sir, absolutely. I think we can probably look at this as, let's say, an Android phone. So an Android phone comes with a basic core, right? So everybody basically comes with the core, but then there is an entire ecosystem of apps to build around it. And that's where the knowledge dissemination happens. So probably when that happens, when we can actually probably put in a capsule or a data for about specific, let's say AI, or let's say, for instance, biomechanical engineering. Then on top of that, how do we actually, because that's important. Whatever that is available in textbooks, it also has to be assimilated, because that's what we are. We are cognitive minds and we are cognitive beings. So with that information, I think that's a very interesting conversation. So I think this is probably good when we connect over a cup of coffee when I visit your university. And I would love to have a conversation with you on that.
Sure.
If I may just very brief comment, Professor Ranjan well congratulations on your excellent work. I am really excited to see that, that brain-machine, brain-to-brain interaction. We had, first time I remember 2010, it was actually in Pune, India. It was ITU Kaleidoscope, or Jules Verne, what's beyond the Ethernet. And it seems that since then, colleagues from Vasudha and of course on your side in India worked very hard to kind of really put this in practice. And it seems like, what just discussion, conversation that you had, that this is it, the human nature is by nature very weak, but the potential of human brain is unlimited. And so indeed, it is a kind of challenging when I think now, again, coming to Professor Duster, we will create multidisciplinary team of experts, medical doctors, distinguished computer scientists, engineers, sociologists, psychologists. And I think, Sarah, this is where Eudora come in, that we are actually, even in the very initial planning, we were kind of already discussing these issues, because this is where education is not just, like look at what we see now, the computer, we have a monitor, a keyboard, and motherboard. And yet, in the years to come, our children, grandchildren may say this looks like a toaster machine. So indeed, you're right. There's a dimension that we have not explored, and we are at the very beginning. So I love to collaborate with you. And of course, as we all are now connected, to explore opportunities, how we can contribute to the advancement of that. Because indeed, then it actually, technology will become part of that resource. Human resource is by taking good food, having good lifestyle, making good night's sleep. But the machines, computers, they are still, in a sense, in isolation. They're so much power dependent. And yet, indeed, to find that almost, if you like, magic connection, then yes, the machines could be a resource for humans to become super brain people.
Sure. We can have a separate discussion on this because the time today is short.
Sure. Let me call in Professor Ranjan, MIT University.